Yeah. What's up, guys? Your boy Savage back again for another Savage Talk Live. Woo! It's good to be back. You know, like that. How's everyone today? You know the vibes. If you're a Demon Team original, shout out to you. If you're new, listen, we're just here to talk wrestling. You know, like that. The community is strong. Let's get it. Hope everyone's good in the chat. Who we got in? Shout out to Amin. Shout out to Brocky. Shout out to Morris. Of course, you know the vibes. Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's staying healthy. You know the vibes. But yeah, man. Yeah, it's good to be here. It's good to be here. Nice and relaxed. I feel good today. I feel more hydrated. You know what I mean? I've been losing out on my water a bit, man. I've been working out a lot more, so more workout, the more electrolytes I lose from my water and sweat, and that's why I need to get more water back in and I've lapped and that. So, but I feel good now. We haven't spoke since. I mean, I've done my reaction videos, but we haven't spoke since SummerSlam. I think NXT. We haven't spoken since NXT. But on NXT, we didn't get to cover SummerSlam, so I'm probably not going to go over SummerSlam today because you know it's happened now. There'll be a few things we might talk about, but you know, it is what it is. Few topics to go through today. I think I thought I'd change you up a little bit instead of doing Savage News because honestly, like I said to you before, I'm not a news channel. You know what I'm saying? If you want any proper news, go to Wrestle Talk. They normally put it out. They're pretty good at what they do and stuff like that. But I just like to get into some juicy details, and then obviously if there's a little bit of news, what's exciting, I'll jump in. Shout out to WrestleManiac in UK in the chat. Shout out to you, bro. You know, like that. Big things coming soon. Of course. You know the vibes. If you guys ain't subscribed to my homie, go over to WrestleManiac's YouTube channel. Subscribe there. But yeah, man. We're good. We're here. Like I said, I thought I'd split the topics up into sections today because I can get carried away talking on one topic for 20 minutes and then turn on another, and then we end up just being here for over an hour and only getting through a certain amount of things. So some things are more important than others. Some things are just speculation and stuff. But you know, it's just what it is, man. Impromptu and that. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be all rigid with my stuff. That's not what I am, man. I need to change that up on my YouTube channel as well, I think. I don't feel like I've been pretending, but I feel like I've held back a little bit. And to be fair, it's because my energy's been low over the last 3-4 months, probably since WrestleMania, to be honest. You know, there's been less live streams, although I still do make sure I get one in a week, but I had a week off here and there. Had less live streams, less reaction videos. Energy's been low. You know what I mean? Been very rigid, so want to get back to regular Savage, you know what I mean? The name means something, so you know that. I mean, you don't need to spam the chat. I'm just not gonna answer, but put in like today in capitals is just, you know, chill. You know what I mean? I'm not going over Monday Night Raw. Reason being, what's the point? If I go over Monday Night Raw from this week, it's pretty much the same Monday Night Raw we got the week before for the last 5 weeks, maybe. So there's no the only thing I want to talk about on Raw is Karrion Kross because I have to cover that. But everything else, what's different? Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. Well, we knew that was going to happen, and Charlotte's not going to look. She's not going to look like a serious competitor as soon as she starts interacting with Alexa Bliss and the supernatural stuff. So as soon as that doll winks at Charlotte, it's game over. What else did there to talk about? The same Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre spiel. Nothing makes sense on Raw, and I'm kind of bored of talking about it, to be honest, because anytime I talk about Raw, it's going to sound like I'm moaning. I don't like hearing my own voice talking about Monday Night Raw over and over again. That's why I do my reactions. I'll react to whatever I react to. If you see that there's no reaction on Raw, it's because I've recorded my reaction and it's that bad. The energy's that low because the show's not good that I just turn it off, and like, what's the point of wasting it? You know what I mean? It's going to get copyrighted anyway. It doesn't make me any money. It doesn't satisfy all the fans. It doesn't even get the views anymore on the videos of Raw. So I'm like, you know what I mean? Wasting my time and yours. We'll cover the Miz and Morrison a little bit, but again, Morris, I've been saying since the zombie match times that the Miz and Morrison, this exact thing is going to happen. This isn't new to me because they've split up twice before. So to me, it's just like rinse, repeat. The story is terrible for why they've they've turned. Well, why the Miz has turned. It's probably one of the worst heel turns I've ever seen. Like, think of all the heel turns you've seen over the years from back in the day. Shawn Michaels, Mighty Janae. Think of all these little Seth Rollins heel turn. All these turns, and then they get this where the Miz just attacks him slightly. Didn't look like it was hurting him. Listen, I'd rather talk about little individual things. But honestly, shout out to everyone in the chat because I'm glad everyone's here. Obviously, we'll get to the Q&A part at the end, and then if you want to ask questions about Raw, then of course I'm going to answer. But honestly, if you want me to talk about the entirety of Raw, I cannot do it. I honestly can't. Because this is the first week. In fact, I have got something about Raw on here, but this is probably the first week on Raw completely, like, altogether, that I was just like, you know what? There's not even anything. I can't give constructive criticism to Raw because everything was just. And coming off the back of SummerSlam, and like I said in my stream prior, has everyone realised the difference in SmackDown and Raw? Not only how the show is, the fact that one of them's got damn near all the superstars on it, and go and look at SmackDown's roster and include Bayley in that. Include Daniel Bryan in it, even though he's gone now, but he's been there the whole time as well. And include Edge in that. Include Brock Lesnar in that now, and Becky. And then go and run through with Sasha and Bianca and Roman and the Usos and Kevin and Sami and Cesaro and back. Carry on, go through, and you'll see that roster is superior and it's a mess. And I can tell it's to do with the networks, because I remember when we were getting not so much the Peacock, not so much the USA network, but more to do with Fox. You remember the whole thing with Fox? Brock debuted on SmackDown, had to get him on there, big money. He took out Kofi Kingston. That's pretty much why they made him champion, let's be honest. He's a money draw, so that's fine. And on SmackDown before that, when they were doing you can actually sit into these WWE conference calls because it's a public trading company, so you can actually sit in them. I sat in the one for Fox, and they were talking about that Fox wants to move more towards the more serious, sporty, pretty much damn near real wrestling, all about the athletics, while Raw has the outlandish kind of suspend your belief kind of stuff. And that's why, the Fiend was on there and stuff. He eventually came with SmackDown. But and yeah, you can see it. You can see it a mile off now. The only problem is that Raw's gone too far with it, and the stories are not great either. But Deontay, shout out to you, bro. I heard Mr. McMahon said he doesn't want no more midgets. How ridiculous is so that means he wants more big people like Lashley and Drew. I'm not disagreeing with that you heard that, but the chances are, who did you hear it from? Because I bet if we YouTube a video, you're not going to see a video of Vince McMahon saying this. So that means that this just happened, some random conversation where Vince said it. I'm not saying Vince probably says loads of stuff in the background, but let's be honest, in 2021, I don't think Vince McMahon's using the words like talking about midgets and all this business. I don't think, but he's always like bigger guys. I wouldn't call it ridiculous, because if you look at what we've grown up on, the guys that were bigger. That's why it was always a big deal when Eddie Guerrero beat Brock. It was a big deal when Rey Mysterio won the WWE Championship. It was a big deal because it's a World Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, so it was for the bigger guys. And obviously it changed over the years due to like the steroid stuff and the court cases and certain people, But yeah, Vince is always like bigger guys. I don't think there's a wrong with having a preference of people. It can seem ridiculous, but you got to remember it's his business, and so it's like one of them things where it's a toss-up between fans are getting more and more sensitive and companies are caring less and less, and there's not a cohesion between the two ideas. It's so far apart now. It's almost like, honestly, wrestling now follows what the world is. So not so much in my country, in England, but in America, your politics they couldn't be further apart. Like the Democrats and the Conservatives are more far apart than they've ever been. In all these different communities, everything's far apart. Race, religion, gender, sex, everything's far apart. We have to make subdivision for everything. We can't just be people now. You have to be a black person, a white person, an Indian person, Asian person. You have to be a man, a woman, and now you can have all these other genders. You have to, like, everything's split apart. And then with wrestling, the same thing's happening in business. It's so far apart, the different scale of. We got the fans who, some of them have justified criticism, justified issues, and it's fine because you're a consumer. That's what happens. But some people go so far with it. Fuck Vince. I hope he dies. When he dies, Triple H get the company. Fuck Vince. Bah. And then on the other side, the company's just like, yeah, we're reading all these tweets about it would be nice if Bianca wasn't treated like this, and they're like, whatever. And then SmackDown will come and they won't give a damn. So it's a weird time to be alive, to be honest. You know what I mean? So I see a lot of people saying it's a great time to be alive in wrestling. For me, it's not. But I get that it's the excitement of there's not been another brand at the same time as WWE for so long. TNA went out. The first part TNA faded out ages ago. And then since then, you know, it's a weird thing. But Brocky, I agree with you as well. Yeah, but they're not in the early 2000s anymore. The WWE world. No, but that's what I just said to you. I said to you, it was the early 2000s when Vince liked bigger men, but he's allowed to like bigger people. It's his company. The only problem. So, like, for example, if this is what he likes, and everyone knows this, and what Deontay said is right, and this speech actually happened, this thing what Vince said actually happened, then if you're a smaller person, why would you even try and get to the WWE now? Cut your losses early, don't even bother go, and go somewhere else, make that bigger. Because if this is a true statement, then WWE fall apart. There's not that many big guys anymore. Everything's changed, so smaller people are in. So I understand what you're saying, but that's not against me because I don't agree. I don't agree with that statement. I'm just saying that this is nothing new for Vince. Vince was forced to have the smaller guys in wrestling due to steroid court cases, the whole Hogan stuff, all the countless wrestlers dying of steroid abuse and painkillers, and it's all because they're too big. When you take steroids, everything enlarges, your heart enlarges and stuff, and you ain't got enough blood to run around your body. So this is what I mean about that. But Amin says, are you excited for Brock and Becky? I'm excited for Brock, but I feel like it's come too soon. I could have done with a few more months of more Roman and then Brock coming, but I do get SummerSlam ratings, money, Brock's money, so I understand. And to be fair, I'm guessing that when you phone up Brock or when Brock phones you, you either take it at that time or you don't take it. Brock seems like the kind of guy that just does what he wants. So Morris says Deontay, well, Ray and Dominic are still around. 100% they are. Martel and Raw needs more superstars to build better storylines around. I 100% agree, Martel. Also, I just think that even with the ones they've got, even with the really good ones they've got, they still can't build a story. So I do worry for people like, as much as I said about the rosters, I worry if Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens come over or Cesaro or Nakamura come over, Apollo, that all of a sudden there's no story anyway. So, I mean, it's when you think of what's happened and how long, like Nakamura damn near was on the shelf while he's been in the company. He was just being not utilized at all. Ricochet still not being utilized. And when he does, he just gets torn apart and just gets used to make other people look way better, which is the part of wrestling. You want to make the other person look better in the ring. So if you're a baby face, you want to make the heel look more heel. And if you're a heel, you want to make the baby face look more baby. But with Ricochet, it's like get in the ring, and when you clatter him, he'll make you look amazing, but you won't make him look any better because he doesn't even get to do anything. So shout out to Durante. What's up, brother? NXT is better than Raw. Yeah, I agree. Even with just in terms of the matches, NXT doesn't have too many like promos and things like that because one, it's still classed as developmental, and two, it's 2 hours long, and they're trying to showcase as much talent as the one. But the thing with NXT, we can agree that that's how it was meant to be in the first place. But they're still cohesive, the whole program. Morris said it's not a great time for Bianca Belair. It's really not. It's really not. Honestly, like I said to you on the end of the SummerSlam watch along, I said I can see Bianca not getting that title again now till The earliest I can never see happening is early 2022, but probably not at all. And also, if she does get it, it might be one of them hot potato ones where she gets it and loses it straight away again, and you don't want that. So, Amin says, "Where is Pablo the Savage? He's on my foot, sleeping currently. His head's on my foot, his body's on the floor, and he's sleeping. So, if he wakes up, I'll get him on camera." Shout out to Miss Savage in the chat. Like that, my baby. I love you. The vibes. Yeah. Joseph, it's been a bit for me, but I'm here. How are you? How you been, Savage? How are you, Joseph? I'm all right, bro. Hope you're well. Hope you're healthy. Like that. Deontay, no, I'm not a Keith Lee fan, but he deserves better than what they've been doing with him. Yeah, Keith Lee one's been a bit funny, hasn't it? Because he shut everyone up on the internet. We had this thing on the channel where people were asking about Keith Lee, and I specifically remember saying, I don't know. But all I know is the last time I heard is he had COVID, which was around Royal Rumble. And then after that, I never seen him. So I was like, I'll just leave it alone and see what happens because I didn't want to speculate too much. Some people went over the top and, fuck WWE, you fucking won't even use Keith Lee. And then he puts out a video 2 weeks ago letting us know that the man was dying. Yeah? And now you see why. There's okay to have speculation when you care about someone, you're a fan of someone, but you have to leave it alone with the negativity when you don't know what's going on because, as you've seen, the man nearly died. So I don't know if he came back to show his face again and he's still trying to work on himself because he was out for 7, so I don't even know how long. He was out for a while, and I was about to say 7 months now. I don't know where I got that from. But the weird thing is he came back for Karrion Kross and then we haven't seen him again. That's very strange. So fans are being fast to judge the Bianca Belair situation. It could turn out to be I guess, the best for Bianca. Could it have been better? Yes, but let's just wait and watch what happens before complaining. I think that's a fair point. I will say I was one of the ones who, in fact, I didn't complain. I was so disappointed that I had a few comments for it on SummerSlam. It sucked the feeling out of me. The problem is you can say people should not complain. That's fair enough. But you can't change the way people feel. And trust me, while we were doing the watch along, everyone who was in that watch along, everyone had the same feeling. Even the people that are Becky Lynch fans, even the people that were in fact, everyone in the chat was very happy to see Becky back. All of us were. But when that happened, yeah, I can't see it being great. She went from winning at SummerSlam and then losing like that. I don't think it's the fact she lost. I think it's the way she lost. The confusion before the match started with the referee and the Carmella thing. Like, anyone who watched that live knows what I'm talking about. It was very awkward. You could tell that the referee had no idea what was going on. He probably he's obviously refs have an earpiece in, so he's probably been told to stall. The Carmella thing looked weird because it was like, okay, you and Bianca have spoke now, so you're going to wrestle, or we're just going to wait for Becky's music to hit. And then the weird thing when Becky was like to Bianca, wait 1 minute, and then toss Carmella out the ring. It was all like weird. It was just strange. Didn't make Carmella look good to me either. It just made her look like any 24/7 type of person running around. But Joseph Vince doesn't know how to use Ricochet to me. He doesn't know how. Yeah, he does not. Me too. I believe so as well. Deontay said, "Where is Asuka?" The last reports I saw were that WWE doesn't have anything for her right now or something like that. That's probably not true, but it probably is as well because they would be using her. She doesn't seem to be injured. She's always on Instagram and stuff like that. So I don't know. Savage, is Becky really a heel? Right now, she's not. That was babyface Becky at SummerSlam, 100%. Fans were cheering. She was cheering with the fans. There was no like, she wasn't rude to Bianca or anything like that. But I've got a part here, so I will cover that a bit more. Did you see what happened to Kofi Kingston? Yeah. Jeff Bianca to Raw. I agree. Is Yokozuna fighting Rollins? Yokozuna's dead. So, don't know. Where is Naomi? It's been a long time no see. Yeah, well, I said that. I thought it'd be dope to see her join the Bloodline. And Roman actually spoke about that on the... Which interview is it? It might be the... I don't know which one it is. I don't know if it's the Ryan Saturn one. And he said she would be a great addition. But We'll see. What do you think about CM Punk's situation with, or do you like it or no? Joseph, I'll get to that because I've actually got a segment for CM Punk as well. I'm going to get through these messages and then we're going to do all the stuff that I've got. Savage, do you think Ridge Holland is kind of bad because his match with Thatcher, he looked so lost, and maybe it is because he's in injuries and could be ring rust? Yeah, he did look a little bit lost. He's still kind of new to wrestling, to be honest. He was like a rugby player in 2018 still, so he's not been wrestling that long. I'm sure he'll get better, and I think that's probably why they put him with Pete and only Larkin, and I'm sure he'll be fine. I feel like someone was to squash Lashley or Reigns, they wouldn't complain as much as they did when Belair lost. It doesn't make sense. I could disagree with that. If somebody squashed Roman, the internet would break. If someone squashed Lashley, because it wouldn't make sense. You do know that, like, out of all if you're doing it as wrestling perspective in a storyline, and what makes sense and what doesn't make sense, the one person, there's a couple of people. Because I didn't like when they did it to Naomi either with Doudrop, but Bianca Belair. There's a lot of them. Bianca, Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Nia Jax, Shayna, Oscar. These kind of people shouldn't be squashed. And Bianca, more than all of them, her whole gimmick is the EST of WWE, the best, the fastest, the strongest, the roughest, the toughest. And she got 25 seconds. She got hit to the face, rock bottom, game over. So, how can you build her to be the first woman to break the women's Royal Rumble record when going to Mania twice, one night, and then going to SummerSlam? It was like all for nothing. Morris, I 100% agree. No, what your comment, I 100% agree. Also, that happens quite a lot. It's like there's this new thing where stories don't go anywhere. So there's a big build, then a horrible drop off. They did the Big E build to Intercontinental title. He won it on Christmas Day. Drop off. Nakamura, big build, massive, wins Royal Rumble, massive, fights AJ at WrestleMania, dream match, low blows. Then 3 more matches with just low blows. Heel Nakamura, massive drop off. Ricochet, the build from NXT, build, drop off. Aleister Black from NXT, drop off. And it's just like, Sami Zayn, the gimmick, the conspiracy theory, built up, nothing. And Bianca's one of the worst ones out of these because she was the champion and the Royal Rumble and stuff like that. It's what's happening, man. Ridge could be a dominant wrestler, 100% agree. Are you excited for CM Punk versus Darby Allin? I am excited for it. Hope Darby Allin wins, but he won't. Bianca is done. Very sad to see they won't have a match until 2022, probably. The problem is she's probably going to get a rematch because of the kind of character she is and lose on it. Because I don't expect them to make Becky just lose. But we're going to get to that. No, I agree. It doesn't make sense the way Belair was squashed storyline character-wise. Yeah, listen, I'm 100%. Everyone knows on this channel, I tend to, most of my, the insight I'm giving and what I see and what analysis to give is based on kayfabe in the wrestling business. And then a little bit of it on the outside, like 20% of it is the behind the scenes stuff because it just doesn't look good for your character and the brand. Because Bianca Belair's branded as such with the roughest, the toughest, and stuff like that, it doesn't look good. Savage, The Rock versus Roman needs Universal title? Me personally, I think Roman should keep the title as long as Walter held it. He doesn't need to be as long as Walter because he's just got to, is it today? It'll be a year today. And Walter had it for like 37 days, 36 days. I don't care if I ever see The Rock versus Roman, honestly. I don't care. But it would be a great spectacle. The longer they leave it, I don't want to see it. It doesn't need a title. And it probably shouldn't have a title because if The Rock wins, we know he's not going to stay around. But whenever Roman loses that title, what he will have is going to be the fight to keep the family name, to be the head of the table of the family, and that's when "If You Smell" should come in. And if you're going to do the storyline, do it through that. So, did you see Sami Zayn tweeting about the fact WWE left KO WrestleMania documentary despite there being on the card? I did see it. I did, and he's right. Did you see how they who was it? What I was watching on the documentary, they kept missing out. Oh yeah, they managed to cut Bray Wyatt out of that documentary a lot. Jesus Christ, man! You damn near couldn't even see the man's head. And because of that, you hardly see the Lex Luger as well. The Bray Wyatt release was kind of stupid on WWE's part. That's just my opinion, though. Stupid in terms of what? I don't want to sound like this guy who's just keep like going against what people say, but stupid in terms of what? Because if you're in terms of business, then you would kind of agree, although they're still selling his merch. So think of this: they've got rid of somebody who they're spending $1 million on, and they're still making more than $1 million probably back off him, hundreds of thousands in the shop. In the business terms, in ruthless business terms, damn near genius. But the fact that he was cleared just before he got released, it's kind of crazy. Do you think Big E cash in Extreme Rules? No, I don't think Big E should cash in for 6 months. I don't want to see him cash in just yet because I don't think the fans are ready for him to be champion, and I don't think that the character he's got suits being a champion right now. Now that everyone's trying to get more towards serious stuff, yeah. You say that, but they need to make up for us not seeing Taker versus Sting. So yes, Rock versus Roman needs to happen. It's one of those dream matches that should actually happen. No, I just said like if it happens, I'm going to be excited, but I don't need it. I don't need it. And they're not in the business of making stuff up to us. Like, why would they care that Taker and Sting never happened? Sting was available to use for 8 months, and Taker was in a storyline with Bray Wyatt, and he wasn't there for the whole year. He literally just turned up at WrestleMania. So after that, Sting had the thing with Seth and got injured in it. So, but yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. I just think it's stupid in terms of business though and storylines. I think it's stupid in terms of storylines and creativity. It's not stupid in terms of business because they've said that WWE in 2000 and this is why I know the pay cut things are stupid. But in terms of 2020 and 2021 so far, and the end of 2019, WWE's made more money than they ever have in the history of WWE. In the history, that's with The Rock, that's with Austin, everyone, Kurt Angle, Jericho, Taker, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, everyone. So in terms of business, when they look at the money, they're all right, man. Charlotte should lose the title because I want to see Shayna versus Rhea. Yeah, it's a fair enough point. I would hate to see Shayna versus Rhea right now. Their characters need 3 or 4 months of badassery to get back to, especially Shayna, because they just put her to the side. If she just starts killing people now, it's like, okay, so you've just been losing and running away from dolls, and with Rhea, they're slowly take like her character's petering off more and more, and I don't know. But I also asked for Charlotte versus Alexa, which never happened. Charlotte versus Alexa is going to happen now, though, isn't it? Would you have liked to see Carlito have a run in the WWE after his Royal Rumble return? He looked jacked. No. I knew that was going to happen. Everyone was asking me about Carlito at the Royal. I was so excited to see him. I love Carlito. But I knew, where does he go? And this is in terms of WWE. Where does he go? Because, yeah. You knew what he would end up doing. You're going to be running around after that 24/7 title, spitting apples into Zawa's face. So I'm not here to see the man's legacy. You know what I mean? Whatever legacy you have in 2021, if you're not towards the top of the card, I'm not interested in anyone coming in. I feel bad for all of them. So, well, that's good. Well, the Impact brand. Oh, are you talking about Bray Wyatt's Impact? I know Impact want to hear. Yeah, the one Bray. So that, I think, they might have been lying. I don't like Impact watching. I can't get behind it. But I like a few characters. I like Moose. I like seeing Mickey James over there and stuff like that. Bray Wyatt Impact is not a bad idea. He'd have all the creativity in the world he wanted. And he would bring that brand up. Also, they're linked with AEW anyway. So he can do all the crossover stuff. And it'd be fun to see what character he uses. But I kind of feel with Bray, I don't know. There's got the wrestling thing, but he's also so creative. I can see this man making a movie or something. I don't know. Brocky says, I don't care about WWE business part. I care about the wrestling and the story. So for me, releasing Bray's stupid and mad. Yeah, I agree. Savage, are you watching One Piece? Well, not right now. I'm on stream with you. Edge should permanently bring back that Brood entrance 100%. Did you hear the story on the Brood entrance that Gangrel planned to use it for Dynamite this week? And he couldn't. Well, he could, but they kind of both, him and Tony Khan said, like, we're going to have to drop it because he didn't know that. He spoke to Edge, but he didn't know Edge was going to use the entrance like that. And he said it was so good that Tony Khan was like, listen, we have to go a different direction. It's going to look like we're copying them. What are the chances of the fact that Gangrel is going to turn up on Dynamite and then Edge uses it on the Saturday before? Hilarious. He was very nice about it, though. Obviously, still friends with Edge. Would you like to become a WWE superstar? No, not now. Not now. That dream died with me years ago. Like, when I was 50. To be fair, once I got to like 14, 15, I was playing like semi-pro football and then professional football, so I kind of give up on that. Also, I didn't know the backstory behind the business. So for me, I just thought it was loads of fighting. When I see the stuff you have to do and calling matches, nah. When I used to play fight with my friends, we were fighting for real, so I didn't. You know what I mean? He was at AEW. Carlito was okay. What do you think about Brock's return? I always, anytime to see Brock, I love it, but wasn't needed as such. But it was massive. And after what happened in the mid card with Becky and Bianca, and then I got to see that great match between Edge and Seth. That was a nice way to finish the show. Although I had a problem with them cutting it off with the John Cena thing. We should have seen Brock destroy John Cena live on TV. But we didn't. We had to see it on YouTube shorts and people's Instagram videos. Maybe Killer Kross versus Drew or Lashley. Yeah, if they're building properly, Gangrel to AEW. Morris, I think he was just going to make an appearance on the podcast. He said he was just going to make an appearance there, so I think it was like a one-off thing. Because he's a wrestling teacher, isn't he? He's got like loads of wrestling schools. So. Damn, we've covered 35 minutes and all the section I wanted to speak about. So, but we'll see. I think we've covered some of the stuff I was going to talk about anyway. So, first thing I want to talk about. So we're going to go through this bit by bit. Won't spend too long on it. Did CM Punk tease Bryan Danielson in AEW Dynamite promo now? Did anyone see the promo on WWE? God damn it. On AEW Dynamite, CM Punk. It was a little tease, but the fans went wild and he had a massive smirk on his face. I don't know if that was a shot at the other company or I don't know if that was a thing to say. Yeah, because he kind of said to the fans, basically what he was doing was cutting a promo. He was talking about all the young talent he wants to work with because the whole promo was focused on why did CM Punk come back to wrestling, and he quoted people like Jungle Boy and Ray Phoenix and said there's one person first though, which is Darby Allin. And then he was talking about, the fresh roster and stuff. And then the fans started going crazy. Yes, yes, yes. The fans wasn't talking about Daniel Bryan. They were just using what Daniel Bryan does. Everyone uses it as part of the culture now. And then he said, wait. That's somebody else's shtick. You're going to have to be patient for that one. And then the fans went crazy. It was kind of cool. I'm not going to lie, there's part of me that doesn't want to see Daniel Bryan go to the AEW and just wants him to sign another WWE contract because I love seeing him in WWE. But he's so good that whatever makes him happy, I'm not going to stop watching AEW or WWE so I can watch him either way. But what Morris said there, I think CM Punk and Bryan talked privately about who's doing what. I don't think they tell each other their ins and outs, but they were friends in WWE, but they weren't really close friends. But the chances are, when Tony Khan spoke to CM Punk about coming back to AEW, CM Punk would have said, who have you got coming? He would have asked him. And Tony Khan probably would have told him just to get it over the line. Just like in football, when people make transfers and stuff, like Aguero to Barcelona, he would say, is Messi staying? Because if he's not staying, blah, blah. And then the chairman would tell him. So I think I think that happened, but kind of dope, man. Kind of dope. Maybe we see Finn Balor versus Nakamura. I hope so. I saw CM Punk in AEW full show. Yeah, he did. I think Brian Danielson, we have to remember calling him like that now. He's coming to AEW and I can't wait. Yeah, yeah. It's not hard for me because he was called Brian Danielson. I mean, Brian Danielson back in the day, and obviously it's his real name as well. So when you watch Total Divas, it comes up with his name at the bottom, so it doesn't. It's just like normal. I was shocked about Brock's return. I was shocked at the moment when it happened. Um, Very smart from Roman as well, because in Roman's interview before SummerSlam, the day before, with the UFC guy, that he said, "There's Ryan Satin." He said, "Who are you more likely to fight, Brock Lesnar or The Rock?" And he said, "Probably The Rock, because I haven't seen anything from Brock Lesnar in the last year, and who knows what he's doing." And then the day after he turns up, very smart. Darby Allin is a great wrestler. He's great. WWE CM Punk winning Bryan change wrestling for the second time. Uh, I don't. I don't agree with all this like game changer change wrestling stuff. I mean, I'll maybe use that as a title, but I don't agree that they changed the game, because if that was the case, then why does Daniel Bryan not change the game where he was in WWE? Maybe to do with the creative stuff and that. I'm of the opinion that I'll try and keep them separate from each other, unless I have to, like, if it's somebody who's just come from WWE, I might have to talk about AEW, but I tend to keep them separate away from each other. They're different wrestlers. I'm just watching, the last thing I was watching before coming here was Tony. Was it on there? I was watching the AEW documentaries while I was watching, listening to Tony Khan speak, and he was talking about how we don't compare ourselves to other companies and we're completely different. Well, I think it's time to, like, let's stop talking about, let's stop talking about the other companies now. Both of them just stop talking about each other and focus on their own. Because I think AEW gets way bigger if they forget to stop talking about WWE. Take the talent when you like. Stop talking about them. Let's get on with it. And WWE, they're not allowed to talk about it on the thing, but of course they're focusing. Focus on yourself. I think so. But that's all I got to say on that CM Punk Daniel Bryan thing. But on to the next topic. This one. So obviously, anyone who watched Monday Night Raw, you saw that Karrion Kross came out dressed as Shredder from Ninja Turtles. He came out dressed as a samurai. He came out dressed as some Roman Empire don. He came out dressed as like some gladiator with some straps on, and that man looked like he looked like a sex costume. It did. It looked like something that they get strippers to wear. You know, when the strippers come out with like the fake sword and stuff, that's what he looked like. He looked like the demon of the Bruce Lee movie. Definitely like Shredder to me. Shao Kahn, he was a shambles. This was not good. Not the day after he loses the title. Less than 24 hours it was. Less than 24 hours. The thing about, like, in entertainment, if something's working, I think if something's working, why would you change it when it's only going to help your company and business? I don't know the business side of it. In fact, I do know the business side of it. That's what I do in my spare time. I do business stuff. If I'm not doing business stuff, I'm researching business stuff. I'm working on other things. And one thing I know about is marketing. And we're going to talk about it a little bit later on as well. But this new Karrion Kross gear is built towards marketing, isn't it? Because in 2 months' time, when he starts doing more on the main roster, that helmet, that face shield, that knight armor, that Shao Kahn mask, that Shredder costume will be in the WWE shop, and it will sell for more than $50, and the kids will want it. Same as Nikki Cross's mask. What? To everyone else, it doesn't look good, but yeah. Drew McIntyre's sword will probably be sold soon, some plastic sword. Anytime I see something overly gimmicky, what looks like it's something from what would happen in the I said it, when Ron Simmons used to have that, you know what I'm talking about, in that blue costume. That was in like 94, probably earlier. Anytime I see stuff like that, in my head, I'm like, WWE shop. And this is one thing that I'm not 100% right on, but I'm damn near sure I'm close to being right. Reason being, we saw Lily disappear. We seen her die. We seen her just didn't turn up on the show for 3 or 4 weeks. Why is Lily still with Alexa Bliss? You know that taking Lily away from Alexa Bliss instantly makes her a little bit more serious. And the reason why Lily's still there is because in the WWE shop, they can sell it. And it's going to be like $15, $20. In England, it's about £17. And I almost guarantee that the reason when Bray Wyatt had the puppets, I bet you slowly he would have wanted to get rid of them. And the reason why he didn't get rid of them, WWEshop.com. Any more gimmicks? Because Roman's glove, WWEshop.com. There's like any type of what's in the show. That, you know, that hat what Elias had on in that promo. Just give it a few months. If he returns with that hat in his gimmick, trust me, WWEshop.com. And like I said, I don't give a damn about the business part. I'm just telling you. But I don't care because I'm a fan. And this is why when anyone talks to me about ratings, waste of energy. I don't care about ratings. When people talk to me about a movie, what's being reviewed, and it's got 18% on Rotten Tomatoes, I don't care. I'm going to check it out myself. When everyone goes, Dave Meltzer gave that a 5-star, I'm supposed to care that one man said the match was good or bad, and I'm supposed to take that into account. I don't give a damn if The Rock, Dwayne Johnson said the match was good. I don't care. I'm still going to go watch it myself. So it's a shambles. It's an absolute shambles. He deserves like another reign at least. Unless he deserves it. What could they do with Daniel Bryan AEW? They can put Daniel Bryan against so many people in AEW. He doesn't have to be the top guy. You can put him against so many people. Mean says Karrion Kross's new gear is savage. I disagree, man. That harness thing he was wearing, he was struggling to keep it on all match. It looked uncomfortable for him, and it looks like it would have been cool in 1997. Karrion Kross has been made to look stupid down there, ruined emphasis in there because he can still come back who he was once. Let Scarlett come back and he just needs to go away for a bit. Morris, I agree. I don't think he's buried, but the thing just looks stupid. But they need to give him Scarlett back. She adds so much to the character. So as I told you, Kross was done the moment he went to Raw, and the creative on Raw and Vince and Bruce are mad with this. What they've done thinking they saw him. I don't know who it was, so I'm not saying Vince or Bruce because there's plenty of people. But all I'm saying is, I was happy when I seen the YouTube clip because the YouTube clip didn't have the mask on it. But then when I went back and watched the whole Raw and I seen it and the X-Men harness thing, I don't like Nikki's new gimmick. It's stupid. It's Snowball from Secret Life of Pets. It's a fact. I'm just sitting here watching Darby Allin versus Jericho AEW. Made Darby Allin any match, this geezer, he puts his life on the line for wrestling, bro. DeAndre says, burn that doll. Facts. Roman's Gauntlet reminds me of Thor. Oh, it reminds me of Thanos. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Savage, I don't like the Nikki gimmick. Oh, I already answered that. I mean, don't spam the chat, man. I get it. I mean, the new gimmick is stupid. The gimmick is stupid. Yeah, moving on to the next gimmick. See what I was talking about that. Let's go, baby! Booker T versus the Marks. Jeez! Have you been sleeping under a rock, or do you just not have Twitter? If it's one or the other, then it's fair enough. But yeah, the wrestling fans came for Booker T this week, and I might have to disagree with these wrestling fans again. I said last week, this new thing where people ain't allowed to have an opinion. If people are having an opinion and the opinion's not rude, it's not disrespectful, what's the problem? All Booker T was doing is what everyone else does. And yeah, they came for him. And when I mean they came for him, all you have to do is go onto Twitter and write Booker T's name in, and you'll see what I'm saying. Basically, and I didn't fall for this trap because this is what the wrestling news channels do. You speak on a podcast, we speak on a stream like we're doing now. I've been on the stream for 47 minutes, and they'll take 1 minute of what I said and make the statement that blah blah said. This is whatever. I watch the Hall of Fame podcast all the time. Yeah, basically, Booker T was speaking on CM Punk's return. Booker T and Brad Gilmore, they were both talking about how it went and what Brad Gilmore saying what moment it was. Booker T said it was dope, but he said he missed a trick. He said he struck out on the promo because he had that big thing to come back and all these fans cheering his name and stuff. And he said he chose on one part of his promo to speak about WWE when I think he just missed a trick there and it could have been better. This is what we talk about every time we're on the stream. So anyone who disagrees with Booker T, not on what he says, but on the fact that he can say anything, means that you shouldn't be talking on any streams. You shouldn't be on any comment sections because that's all he's done. It's not like his co-host Brad Gilmore said, "Yeah, you're right." Brad Gilmore said, "No, it was a great moment." Booker T on his other podcast, which he done today, he said, "I've never had a problem with Booker T." Shout out to you, Joseph. He's never had a problem with CM Punk. It's literally just a few. We all have it. It's just like with the Becky and Bianca thing. Some people said what happened was great. Some people don't like it. I'm not going to argue with the people who don't like it and call them stupid. Now, on Twitter, mad disrespect to Booker T. Because, yeah, the stuff I seen on Twitter when you write his name in, people were bringing up, WWE, Booker T's a WWE plan. Booker T only said that because he works for WWE. No. The problem that all these people have is the fact that they're fans of CM Punk. If Booker T was talking about somebody else, they would not have said this. And I know it's a fact because Booker T talks about people week in, week out on his podcast. He's never disrespectful about them. He's spoken about Braun. And to be fair, the same thing happened with Braun. They tried to say that, I don't know. It's crazy. Like, he says Booker T is a legend. Savage, he's a legend. Booker T hasn't been wrestling in 100 years. What he knows is different now. No, what he knows isn't different because he was on about a promo. He wasn't on about a wrestling ring. Promos haven't changed. Talking hasn't changed. You know what I mean? He knows what he's talking about. He's got a wrestling school. Loads of people have come from that wrestling school. Usos, Ember Moon. You know what I mean? He's had CM Punk. He's invited CM Punk down to the reality of wrestling. So it's not like he's got a problem with him. He talks about people on the WWE roster as well. So if he's a WWE plan, then maybe he shouldn't be saying stuff about Braun then before, and he shouldn't say stuff about Bray. I don't see the problem with it, but they went off on him. This is the same guy that let Triple H do this to him at WrestleMania. The Coon. This is the same guy who let Triple H do this in the racist storyline. Blah, blah, blah. Over and over again, just because you're a CM Punk fan. If it wasn't CM Punk, I reiterate, this would not have happened. It's 100% true. Because no one said anything when he spoke about Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke and where they should go. It's crazy to think that you're not allowed to say anything anymore. Crazy. If you watch the CM Punk promo, it was like he was trying to make the crowd chant yes to drop the hint. I don't know if he was. The last time I watched that promo was just before I turned on the AEW documentary. Just like he was doing a promo to me, but it was coming. So Seth Rollins was shocked about the CM Punk return. Seth Rollins. Where have you heard this? I hope it's not a YouTube video with Seth Rollins doing the face because that's not a real YouTube video. He literally says parody under it, but I never heard anything from Seth saying anything. Don't know. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Moving on to the next topic. This is a quick one. So WWE's New Year's Day pay-per-view. If the people didn't know, New Year's 2022, they're having a pay-per-view on that day, and the promo is called First Day. No, I mean the pay-per-view is called First Day. I don't. We're definitely going in a different direction. We've gone from like No Mercy and Unforgiven and Over the Edge and oh yeah, Day One, Over the Edge and Armageddon, Backlash. Um, you know what I'm saying? And then we've gone to like Insurrection. Yeah, Day One doesn't hit for me. Day One sounds like a documentary. It sounds like a WWE documentary. WWE Day One. This it's not shocking to me after Great Balls of Fire. You know, like that stomping ground and battleground. Why did they have stomping ground and battleground? By the way, they just kept changing them year in year out. I don't know. But yeah, Great Balls of Fire's killed me after day one, or you know what I mean. They may as well call it Day One-ish. Yeah, I know. You know, Uso's going to feed into that and get some T-shirts sold. If there wasn't enough pay-per-views on WWE, there's some more. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Because we normally have the one in December, which changes all the time. But I think it's TLC, isn't it? TLC in December. Probably got it wrong, but I'm sure it's TLC. And then we have the next one's Royal Rumble in the following year. I don't think it's a bad idea having a New Year's pay-per-view, although I don't know. I think people are going to be partying. Also, why didn't they have like this New Year's Revolution? Like they've had stuff before. New Year's Revolution sounds dope, and you know what they should have done, honestly, because I don't know. I feel like the women's division is going backwards. I feel like they give up on this whole women's evolution. This is how I know that people just pander to stuff and don't mean what they say. We're gonna give the women a chance. Hashtag Women Evolution. Yay! 2 years and back to normal with the 4-minute matches. But I believe that probably should call it New Year's Evolution and have the women's pay-per-view because they deserve it and stop the foolishness. Bring back this December to Dismember. I was watching that yesterday, ECW to Armageddon. Yeah, them names made sense. Backlash made sense. You know what I mean? No Mercy, Unforgiven, they all make sense, bro. But this, I don't know. Deontay, what do you think of the new big guy in NXT? I don't know who you're on about, bro. I watch NXT all the time, so they're probably not new to me unless they turned up on the. I don't know. I watch NXT all the time. I didn't see anyone debut. Are you talking about Odyssey Jones? Maybe the one who lost in the breakout tournament. I know he's been on NXT since 2018, I think, or 2019. But obviously he hasn't been on the show properly. He's had a few dark matches. Savage Crown Jewel is coming back to Saudi Arabia 2022. Oh man, I hate them Saudi Arabia shows, man. I literally just watch them for the culture, bro. I just do it for the. I don't have. It's nothing against Saudi Arabia. The country looks beautiful, but yeah, I'm not interested in Saudi Arabia shows. Women, I don't like how the women are treated. To be quite honest, I'm not here for the big T-shirts and all of that business. If you know what I mean, if women are treated somewhere, like one place, they should be able to treat it like that everywhere. And watching Lacey Evans and Natalia, I was proud of them in a way, but in the same way, I was like, shouldn't have to pander to a whole country just because, you know, I don't know. Like, oh, you got to wear what do you mean? I got to wear a T-shirt? Like, this ain't WWE.com, but all right. Next one. Yeah, this is one thing I have on there. Becky must turn heel. Now, WWE doesn't have to listen to me, but we're quite sure that people have been in here and robbed some ideas because Joseph Carmelo Hayes is going to be a big name in WWE. I don't know. I just got a feeling. Nah, he's great, man. He's great. Probably make his name in WWE and then dip off somewhere else when he gets treated like rubbish. But from what I know of him now, he's really good. He's really good. But I don't have too much optimism because Ricochet can do everything what everyone else can do and some stuff what no one can do, and he still isn't being used properly. But Carmelo, stay in NXT. Yeah, that's my advice to you. Okay, so the reason why I put this, and we spoke about Becky a bit today already, so I'm not saying on with it, is the way I think you save what happened at SummerSlam. I mean, you can't save it completely, but get some good out of it. So I would get some good out of it for Becky, and then eventually he puts over Bianca super babyface when she, you know, no, she's not heel right now. She's not. She's not heel right now. This is not true. I watched the match at SummerSlam. She done nothing heelish. The Carmella thing, nothing minor. Becky's character before she left, the man, was damn near a throwback to how Stone Cold was. It was anti-establishment. It was, I'm taking what I want, but no, she's not heel right now. You've either been reading too many YouTube channel names, or hey, this is the one and only heel Anna. You know, like that. Shout out to Anna in the chat. But Becky's not heel right now. You've been reading too much blogs or something, because I've been seeing that floating around everywhere, but she ain't a heel. Maybe that you heard that they're going to turn a heel or something. But all I know is I believe it will be great for her, because if we're honest, and I'm on about honesty here, and I don't like to come on here and not check up. Sometimes I think things and then I'm like, oh, I'm not sure. So let me go and, I don't know. The sucker punch before the slam was kind of like heel, but that was it. Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, the bell rang. It's not like she hit her before the bell. But I believe when SmackDown comes on, people have been so behind Bianca that if they end up in the ring together, it's going to be a mixed reaction. I would have Becky say, I would have her just cut a killer promo. Yeah. If Adam Pearce or Sonya Deville can come out and say, listen, this match was never made. There was no contract signing, even though they don't always do it. You can't just decide to have a championship match without, having the say-so from the higher-ups. We have to have another match because that match at SummerSlam was null and void. Now, hear me out, because I'm not going to give Bianca the belt back, because it just doesn't make sense now. It's just going to be silly. But let them have the rematch, and the belt is technically no one's because, the match wasn't made. And then, boom! Becky turns heel in that match, cheats to win. Get her over. Just get it over with, because everyone was fed up. People started to get fed up with Becky before she left. Let's be honest, man. Before that Money in the Bank match, well, obviously it was Asuka who had the Money in the Bank match with everyone else, but leading up to them, the WrestleMania match with her and Shayna was trash. Shayna's shoulders wasn't down. People started to get bored, so I don't know. Turn a heel. That's what I believe anyway. So, okay, who's your favorite wrestler nowadays? Savage. Roman Reigns always has been ever since he joined the company, even through the bad times, even through soccer and Succotash. I've been the Roman guy the whole time. It's never changed. Yeah, Pat McAfee's got COVID. He'll be fine. He's put out a statement and said he's fine, and that his family's fine. So, yeah. I'm going to miss him on commentary because he's one of the best things about SmackDown, but sure he'll be good. Who do you think you're going to replace Pat McAfee on SmackDown commentary? I'll just put Corey Graves there, right? Corey Graves and Michael Cole would be perfect. Yeah. You know what I mean? Next topic, because we don't need to start on Becky. Boom! Is Monday Night Raw a televised house show? Anyone in the chat who's been to house shows? Let's be honest, I'm from England and we don't get many pay-per-views we don't get any pay-per-views over here. And when we get the televised shows over here, I have to go to Manchester, I have to go to wherever, etc. So I am the king of house shows. I'm the king of it. They come to my city every May and November, and every May and November I go. I have fun with my son. I know it's not the televised show, so I don't expect too much. I just wait for the pop of certain people. I've had some great moments at house shows. I got to see my son cry at the fact that Kurt Angle came out with the Shield. It was a moment for me because I never thought I was going to see Kurt Angle live again. I got to see my son screaming because he's seen Bailey and he was excited to see her. My son was excited at Kane versus Braun and got to see Dean versus Dolph with AJ Styles and all this. So I've seen great stuff and I've been to the great televised ones as well. But all I know is one thing about house shows is the wrestlers relax a lot more and they probably get more creative reign on what they want to do because, it's not on TV. We're not trying to sell anything. You're already in the building. And, Greg Hamilton will come on the mic and, yeah, we've got an autograph from Finn Balor. We're going to go to the crowd and ask this kid a question that, of course, he's going to get. Whose last name is Reigns? Romans. Here, have an autograph, kid. That's the kind of thing that it is. Here, we've got some gimmicky toys. Here, go this. And don't forget, people, in the WWEshop.com, outside there, we're selling T-shirts. We're selling, and I'm telling you, this is what Raw's doing. Without saying it, we're selling Nikki masks. That's why she's out here cutting a promo in this mask every single week at the same time, every single week, saying the same thing, that she's nearly a superhero every single week because we want you to buy the Snowball mask. And now we've got Karrion and he's dressed as Shredder from Ninja Turtles. And don't forget, kids, in the WWE shop, tell your mom you can get the Shredder mask, the Karrion Kross Shredder mask, full outfit for $50. And Drew McIntyre's got a sword, and his sword's name's Angie or Abigail or whatever her name is. Don't forget, buy a sword. You know how bad house shows are with that you can't carry your own title into house shows, but they let you buy one. I took my son, he had his title, and they said, we have to take your title and give you a ticket, but you can buy one. Swear down, I'm not lying. It's a house show. You know why it's a house show? Because in house shows, for example, you will have a house show in one town and the town next to it's like 2 hours away, and then another town is like an hour away from that. So for a whole week, they'll have all these house shows, and on the house shows, they'll have the exact same matches, but they'll all be a little bit different, but they're the same matches. And they can do this because it's not televised. The chances of you finding out what's going to happen is very slim unless you go and search it on Twitter. And you're not going to search on Twitter. And all the people that have been to the house shows are not going to tweet what the match is. So they can keep repeating it. I kid you not. WWE have come up with this new formula on Raw that I'm paying close attention to. And I'm damn near straight now. I got it when I saw Raw this week. You have one person, which is usually someone like Bobby Lashley or Drew. And you have another person. And they come into the ring and they argue. And then they throw a punch. Somebody comes to save that person or comes to get involved, and then someone comes to save that person from the beatdown, and then he goes for an advert, and then he comes back, and it's a tag team match. Or this week, if you're a tag team, this is even worse. If you're a tag team, this is an example, you know what I'm talking about. This week, we've got Mustafa Ali versus T-Bar. And next week, we've got Mansoor versus Mace. And then next week, we've got Mustafa Ali versus Mace. And then the next week, we've got Mansoor versus T-Bar. And then on the fifth week, we've got a tag team match. Which leads to nothing when you lose. And I don't know what's going on because it led to nothing. I don't think when was the last time Mason T-Bar at a pay-per-view? We haven't. So they keep fighting and it leads to nothing. Mansoor could be a good wrestler, Joseph says. Mansoor's a good wrestler. All of them people that just spoke are good wrestlers. I mean, I don't know too much about Dio Madine. I know I've seen him on commentary, but the other three are really good wrestlers. I don't know. Mason T-Bar pissed me off. Listen, does anyone know? I don't know if they showed it abroad. Anna, do you know the program The Tribe that used to come on Channel 5? If you know, let me know, because that's what Mason T-Bar remind me of. Should Pete Dunne go to Great Blue or the Poor Red? Yeah, I don't know, bro. Honestly, at this point, it won't matter because it's going to be the draft. But, I mean, I'm going to advise anyone to go to SmackDown because, Raw's not good. Who else we got? Sorry. The only thing, shout out to UK Sean. The only thing I liked was Miz turning on Morrison. Shout out to you. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not trying to diss anyone. It's everyone's opinion, but the Miz's Morrison turn was boring. It was terrible. It was a terrible heel turn for me. There was no massive, but even if you look at the fans, the pop wasn't that amazing because he's done it twice before. They split up twice before, and now it's the third time. And as soon as they got together, I was like, well, at some point this is going to happen. I actually thought, I actually said it on the stream. Do you remember what match was it at SummerSlam? No, not SummerSlam, at one of the pay per views where Maurice came back for one night and it was doing that like freeze the crowd kind of thing. So the Miz kept turning up with Maurice and he had told him that would have been perfect. But you know, Karrion's in the gimp mask, unbelievable, terrifying. What will happen to him next? Yeah, Anna. They'll probably bring out Scarlet, but cover her up in like a bed sheet or something like that. Just to add on to, you know. What do you think about WWE Slam City Series? Personally, I think I was a kid and I loved it. I thought it was alright. You're right. Everything else was boring. Savage, yeah, I've seen the tribe. Oh, you've seen the tribe? Well, that's Mason T-Bar, Dad. Anyone who won Ricochet held the United States? Yeah, I remember Ricochet getting the title because he beat AJ for it. I remember he said that his mom's house burnt down on the same day he got the title or something like that. I feel like T-Bar could be a good. Listen, Dominic Dijakovic is a great wrestler. He's not good. You go watch the matches back with Tommaso Ciampa and Keith Lee and the Karrion Kross match. He's so good. Savage, do you think Bianca is going to get her rematch for Smack? Yeah, but you do know, like they said in wrestling for the last year that they don't have a rematch clause anymore. I'm just hoping to do something great, man. I have hope for SmackDown usually, so I'll see. But I can't lie, I was excited when Becky. Everyone's seen the watch along. I was excited when she came back. I'm not a massive Becky fan anyway. I don't explain this. I'm a massive fan of the person Becky, but if I take away how I like her and the in-ring stuff, I don't know. There's going to be certain women that you guys would probably think are way better than her, but in-ring to me, she's like very soft. Like not a lot of the moves what she does in the ring look believable to me, which is hard because if it doesn't look believable to me, then when people don't kick out, you move or something, it looks like that rock bottom what she gives to Bianca. It looked kind of soft. Yeah. Let me get this off because we're done on the topics now. We'll just speak for a bit. Been on hour and 10. We'll do hour and 20. I mean, we'll do hour and 30 minutes because I like talking to you guys, man. It's fun. Dominic, he needs his NXT gimmick back. Yeah, he does. I'm more excited for two things on Raw: to see Morrison be more serious and to see Randy progress with Riddle and to see what that is. Randy. Yeah, I understand. Randy's a legend, isn't it? You know what would be the beautiful thing out of this? Keep the tag team together longer than we expect, and let's have a serious tag team. And when the that inevitable heel turn comes, let it be Riddle. We know that Randy turned on every one of them, so we just know what's going on there. I'd like to say a good story there, to be fair. Shout out to see Hardy getting buried as well. Needs one more title run before he goes. Let's not get me started on Jeff again, because I told you, man, this geezer's AEW bound, bro. He's bound to join up with his brother at some point. I can just see it. It's very hard for me. The last thing I watched with Jeff Hardy, which was this morning with my son, was Unforgiven 2001. Was Unforgiven 2000. One of those two. Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian steel cage match. And watching Jeff just do little things where the crowd pops for him and the poetry in motion and getting on top of the cage and ripping off his oh my god, bro. I had two favorite wrestlers growing up, and it was The Rock and Jeff. And I used to always have to try and find my corner because I was like, it's allowed to happen because one's a tag team and one's a single. Bro, I can't deal with the burial of Jeff. But honestly, I mean this from like when I watch Jeff Hardy fight now, it feels like I'm not watching Jeff Hardy. It just feels like some other person. It feels like, you know, when they changed Sin Cara, it just feels like I'm watching a different Sin Cara. I mean, don't get me wrong, Damien Priest is a good champion, but I don't know how long that will last. I mean, you can't call him a good champion yet. He's had the belt for less than a week, but he's literally got the belt on Saturday and now it's Thursday, so we can't call him a good champion yet. We'll see. If Riddle turns on Randy, it's over for Riddle. Next week, you'll see Riddle being released, knowing Randy's track record. Oh, yeah. But you remember, he has to beat you up first, isn't it? Stay away from Randy, or, you know, contract killer, we know them ones there. If Randy kicks you, you go into AEW. If Randy says anything bad to you, you go into AEW. Just ask Christian and Mark Henry and Matt Hardy and The Big Show. You know what I mean? This goes on. So this is it. The match between Keith Lee and Dodge Griffin at TakeOver in February last year was one of my favorite matches of the year, and I literally shed a tear. Oh my God, that match was incredible. Because the belief going into that match was, of course, Keith's going to win. But while the match went on, I was not sure. Okay, Sean, I'm telling you, Savage, Jeff Hardy is leaving WWE next year for sure. They are doing that. You're not telling me, because I've told everyone on this stream, damn near every stream, that Jeff Hardy's leaving. So you ain't telling me, trust me. Ricochet is a fantastic wrestler, but when you put him in the WWE banner, he gets swallowed up because his character doesn't jump off the screen. He needs to find a character going up to it. Anna, I 100% agree, because what I've said on this channel on numerous occasions is, with the Ricochet thing, I've said it's not all down to just somebody writing rubbish stories for Ricochet. Because even I don't, there's certain aspects of Ricochet that I can't connect with. So, you know, like, he was going through that stage of every time he came out, he was like almost copying a superhero's costume, like Nightwing or something. And, you know, the entrance when he does the bing, bing, air grab. That air grab thing, just allow that, just leave that in the 90s and that, and just because. So I know exactly what you mean, Anna. Hey Pablo, you okay? Why are you looking at me like that, bro? Pablo's up. Speaking of the show, Henry, what they've done AEW since they appeared? Don't worry, I'll wait. Well, Mark Henry's on commentary. He was on commentary with the CM. He's always on commentary, and they're going on Dark Elevation, I think. They're there for the other shows, and Mark Henry's just got into a feud with QT Marshall. So slowly, but to be fair, even with them not doing much, they're doing more than they were doing on WWE. I mean, apart from Mark Henry fighting McIntyre on the same night as WrestleMania, I mean, Big Show, he wasn't doing anything. And Mark Henry, last time we seen him was Randy Orton telling him it has been, and he was on a scooter. So, Pablo, can you stop scratching my leg, bro? Bro. Can you stop scratching my leg? All right, come on, man. Let's see that. Okay, the first time I saw Ricochet, I was like, wow, this dude gonna place his Vince had other ideas. I mean, the sky's the limit with Ricochet. Yeah, he's dope. Seeing Ali main event, had been Raw, but 3 hours. Yep, 100% agree. Get Ricochet out, the stupid hero pattern ring gear, and go back to the jeans, more serious boy, going back to traditional ring gear. Yeah, it honestly feels like Ricochet that if one thing doesn't hit just for like one Raw, then he just says, I'll change for next week then. But the problem is when you do that, your character becomes so inconsistent that people don't care. It was starting to happen with Liv Morgan for a bit. Like, as soon as she got rid of the blue, I thought the way she looked before with the blue tongue and that crazy gear in the hair, I thought it looked dope. But then she changed, and ever since she changed, they came back with the lesbian gimmick with Lana. Then they just expected us to forget about that a week after. And then he went back to the Riot Squad gimmick, and then he changed again, and then it was like some hot pants with like "Watch Me" on it, and then it changed again. So Goldberg has been murdered by Lashley on Saturday. All characters in wrestling I remember were larger than life, in your face, over the top. Today they are on the show because they're wrestlers, no depth, backstory, or room for us to care. 100% agree. Anna, one thing I preach quite a lot and probably gets annoying is just like, you know, the vignettes and the stories when people are coming up from NXT, give us a story. Give us 6 weeks of a story. So only 30 seconds on the roster, on the Titantron, just to let us know. I said it last time. when Edge came to the main roster back in the day, when he was appearing on his own and they had the Matrix like blade style, you think you know me, and he was just showing him on the street, and it just cut off, and or when Jericho was showing the countdown, the Millennium Countdown, Y2J's coming. They used to do the Mr. Perfect gimmicks, where it's like you'll see him doing everything perfect. They kind of done it with Bianca Belair for like a second. You have Vince was going to have a match with Austin, so they showed him in the gym, and you know what I mean, doing his health regime, all these other stuff outside the ring, just to get us used to the character. Because a lot of people come up with a character, it's almost like, okay, Ricochet, what's your character? I'm a superhero, but I'm not going to tell everyone I'm a superhero. I'm just like dressing as one. And now I want to know why you're a superhero. And unless you're like really, really good where people don't have to question you, it comes off a bit like, okay, I'm still waiting to find out why is it Rhea Ripley's brutality? Because I remember in the Mae Young Classic, and then now it's her brutality. But I've not seen much brutal. I mean, that gimmick probably should have been used more for flipping, I don't know, Shayna Baszler in NXT. That was brutal. She was killing everyone. I need to see. There's certain people that it just tells itself, the story tells itself, like, oh, Brock Lesnar, the Beast. Yeah, it's quite, yeah, he's the Beast. Okay, we understand. We understand what's going on here. And the reason why everyone loves Roman Reigns right now is because he keeps telling us a story. He's the head of the table. What table? What head of the table are you? My family. I put the food on everyone's plate. You don't believe me? What's Jay been doing since he's been with me? He's main event Jay. He's making more money than he ever has. You get what I'm saying? It's just little things. When The Rock tells you the people's champion, you can feel it in the building. The electrifying, you can feel it in the building. The fans, Rocky, not even saying anything. When was the last time you seen that where someone goes to cut a promo and they can just not say anything and the fans go crazy? During the time The Rock will come in the ring and he wouldn't say anything for 2 minutes. Rocky. Austin, how organic was his what promo? Very organic. You gotta remember, if he says one of his lines and waits for the what and no one says anything, it doesn't work. But the fact that they just go with it, you know what I mean? The Daniel Bryan, yes, movement, organic, but now it's either really contrived or, you know, non-existent. The Becky Lynch, the man thing was organic in the beginning, and then as soon as it started to feel contrived and let's make her be like Austin back in the day, no, it's not realistic now. So, you know, that's the scary part, because when they come up, it's like NXT never happened. Look at Karrion, he fought Jeff, no mention of Kross was current champion. I said that on the day, I didn't even see his title, and it made NXT look small instead of making it like he's got a massive championship already. The nameplate title tron is ridiculous. Yeah, Ricochet was striving in AEW low key. I don't think he'd strive because there's loads of people like it, even though he can do like extraordinary stuff. There's so many people who can wrestle like him, but the only difference I'll say is their cards stacked to the point with great matches that he probably wouldn't need to speak much at all. Savage, let Pablo say hi to the chat. There you go, son. There. Look. With the camera. I said, look. You're not interested. You're not interested. Acknowledge me. Yo. This is awkward, man. Yo. Pablo. Acknowledge me. Okay, don't bite me, bro. Don't bite me, bro. Treat Elias right when he comes back. 100% agree. What's up, Savage? Shout out to you, bro. Do you think Alexa will face Charlotte Extreme Rules? Yes. I'm fine with the Alexa fight in the Charlotte. I just don't want that Alexa fight. I just don't want the doll to get involved in the match. While CM Punk just needed to show his t-shirts and sit down and people were going nuts. Well, yeah, that's my point. But CM Punk's not of the new school, is he? So his that fan base is from over 7 years ago. these fans were rather the adult ones who wanted to see a change back then because he was very different back then to what was around, so he stood out. Or they were kids who were like 13, 14, who are now, damn near 20. And it's like, yeah, I want to be part of what's adulting. Like, I want to be part of something what's current and not childish. I remember when you're a kid, as soon as you get to teenage years, you kind of don't want to be associated with anything what's like childish. And AEW seems it seems like wrestling for adults, and WWE seems like a mix. And WWE's always been a mix, but it just feels like one show is directly dedicated to kids and one's not, when it should be a mix. And if they keep it a mix, it's fine. You know what I mean? Ricochet reminds me, Loki, TNA, a last basketball reference for the crowd steered what the company want. Yeah, agree. Does anyone know why WWE got rid of the entrance videos? No, but I hate it. I hate it. They bring them back. No, his character, I'm believing that his character will work. They have done his character for the past few weeks. I don't know which character. Are you talking about Elias? Because you say they've been working. We've had 3 promos. And that kind of promo, what's happening now, is the thing I'm on about. But I can't trust them just yet. You know what I mean? We'll have to wait and see. WWE really has one good storyline going, and that's Roman Reigns' storyline. But again, that's just my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I like Baron Corbin's storyline. Although has anyone seen on his Instagram, he's not broke Baron anymore. He's won his money back in Vegas. Broke Baron is no more. He got himself a new shirt, some women, some steak, penthouse in Vegas hotel. Well, actually, the presidential suite. Got himself a supercar. He built. Was it? He had $130. He got up to $1,300, and now he's got all this money again. Anyone curious to know what Elias will be when he returns? I'm very curious to know. Very curious. Do you think Sasha will come back to Raw? Yeah, eventually. That Baron storyline is very interesting. They shouldn't have made him win the money that quick, although it didn't make sense that he was in Vegas. But I was happy to see him broke. Gonna end up buying his crown back. Please no. I don't want to see King Corbin. I'm happy with the one I got now. Yeah, he got all that money and got no trim. Madness. But yeah, you are right. I need to see what's going to happen with Edge and Seth if it just stops. But if not, then Seth and Edge is a great story. The Roman storyline is great with whoever is with, because he'll make something happen. Baron Corbin's story is great. King Nakamura is not really a story as such, but it's got a little bit to it, so I'm behind that. That's fine. You're right there. You're right there. Okay, let's see. But yeah, not many stories left in wrestling. They're gonna lose everything. I feel like something's gonna happen. Yeah, that's what I said. But honestly, if he goes to SmackDown and he loses all his money again, I'm gonna be kicked out of that character straight away. I need something where like some continuity. So if he's won his money back, give it a couple of weeks. Let him be cocky with his money. But each week he's gonna talk about putting there's this big thing coming on where he's gonna invest in all this big. I don't know. Yeah, there's some investment or this. You know what I mean? Bring someone to WWE. When you bring celebrities in, let one of them come in who does money investments. You know what I mean? Bring JBL back with his investments, and then let him invest in the wrong stock. Because Broke Baron is the one for me. Very hard to replicate though once you've got him out of the gear. It's kind of like when they took Luke Harper out of the white vest with the sweat mark. Once he wore the black vest, you can't put him back in the white one. It doesn't look right anymore. So, how old is he? CM Punk shows age. How old is he? He's in his 40s. CM Punk. CM Punk looks good though, man. Once he had the shave and that, he looks good. Edge and Seth could be amazing. Well, yeah, it's been amazing so far, but I don't think it'll be a long story. I like that the gimmick being broken. I $35 to pay for it, just walking no entrance. Yeah, I like the gimmick, man. Last time Brock was on SmackDown, he quit. Yeah, Corbin needs Ted DiBiase, not Cameron Grimes. Yeah, I agree. I think everyone is going to AEW. Well, everyone can't go to AEW because there'll be no space on the AEW roster, and there'll be no one left on the WWE roster. But Mr. Khan has the money to pay for it. I'll tell you that much. This geezer's filthy rich. I don't know if anyone ever seen when he first. I know a lot of people in my chat when AEW first come out. A lot of you were slandering it. I'll let you off, but I watched loads of Tony Khan stuff at the beginning, and he said, "This is crazy. This is why you know that AEW is not messing around." He said, "We as a company, I'm willing to lose £20 million or $20 million a year for the first 5 years of this company. Lose 20 million a year for the first 5 years. Quick math for anyone, that's 100 million. And that's play money to him because he's a billionaire. He's worth 8 billion, I think. So he's always going to be able to pay for people. It's just would have the space and will they get the exposure, because you got AEW Dynamite and you got AEW Rampage now. You got Dark Elevation and stuff like that, which is Dark Elevation. That's probably going to be more towards like what NXT is than anything. But Savage, come on, you got to tell us what is the deal with the rabbit. There's no rabbit. Like you're going blind, you know. There's no rabbit. If Baron Corbin comes back, he's going to think, bro, Savage, what is the title? Is the title defending streak? If you're talking about Roman's streak, he's on 100. Is on 365 today, I think. I think Roman's 365 days today. At least you got pre-King gimmick music back. Yeah, man. Lone Wolf Corbin. Alistair Black and Buddy Murphy could have a tough tag team. Bro, Murphy's videos are perfect. I love them. Brian went to AEW. Looks like it, but we don't know. Brian's very smart. He's very cool at not talking, isn't he? He holds all his cards close to his chest. That's nothing new from Daniel, though. I don't want to miss anyone's chat. Fans at WWE house shows are family, young kids, more interaction with crowds in the shows, or older fans drinking. Yeah, 100%. That's why I said that Raw's turned into a house show, because I'm of the opinion, and I'm quite, I've detached myself from being so sensitive about it, that at the end of the day, business is business, and consumers of business have to stop pretending like the business always cares. Like, for example, everyone keeps doing this thing where AEW cares more than WWE. Well, no, they don't. It's just that the guy's happy not to make any money for the first 5 years. If this was somebody who still had loads of money, but he wasn't a billionaire, trust me, he would have to care about certain things. But you have the free reign to do what you want now. It's almost like in football, the team with the most money, of course you care about tactics and that, but you shouldn't be worrying about putting Neymar and Messi and Mbappe in the same team. But it's like, we got the money to, we'll just find a way to do it because people will love it, and they do. So let me see. The rabbit on your side. Bro, there's no rabbit there, bro. There's no rabbit there. You're tweaking. I don't know. Snake speaker. I mean, yeah, that's what I said. Don't worry about it. It's a year, 365 days. Yeah, he beat Brock's record. He's the longest reigning Universal Champion now, I'm pretty sure. There ain't much quality superstars to challenge Lashley or Orton. Yeah, Raw's a bit mad with the superstars. Because he's a killer, isn't he? Lashley. So there is no rabbit. Come on. There's no rabbit. Stop the rabbit. There's no rabbit. Come on, awesome. Have back. Alistair Black and Buddy Murphy, AEW were good, but Murphy was better. His was better. Yeah, Murphy's was better. Did you see the second part of Murphy's when he took the shorts from WWE out and his elite figure? I like that because he was just dope. I like that. I've listened to the mashups. Dope. No, Bro Baron is good. Nah, man. I like Bro Baron. See, me and Savage are from a generation of wrestler where everything was larger than life, not like today, where the talent are. Yeah, everyone's got no seasoning now. And because there's no season, it leaves a sour taste in your mouth sometimes. One thing I know now is that things are too easy to forget. I've got a great memory, so if you ask me about pay-per-view, I can, this match, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, things are way too easy to forget nowadays. But if I go and ask you about, you remember when Austin done this in 2001? Straight away, you're going to give me all the details. There's all these matches now that when I watched some of the recent pay-per-views like a year ago, 2 years ago, and some of them I was like, oh yeah, I can't remember. I forgot this match happened. And the reason is because a lot of the times now they want us to forget because the things were stupid and it was such a miss. That's like, we literally saw Lana and Bobby Lashley get married. They had a story behind it, and then for some reason they said go bring Liv down and make her be a lesbian and say that she's been sleeping with Lana. And literally the week after, there was no Liv and Lana storyline. Very weird. Very weird. I do not understand soccer. Well, if you want to understand it, you don't call it soccer. Come on now. Here's 3 to 4. Why does people keep mentioning Tony Khan? This is Tony Khan that, and I'm sure it was Cody who created AEW. No, he didn't create it on his own, bro. That's Tony Khan's money, bro. Tony Khan's a massive wrestling fan. He's been in WWE before. I've seen him backstage, but of course it was Cody's passion, but everyone's going to mention Tony Khan because it's Tony Khan's company. The same way everyone mentions Vince instead of talking about Bruce or Kevin Dunn or whoever writers. Everyone's like, Vince needs to fix this. With AEW, everyone's going to be like, Tony needs to do this, or okay, Sean, there ain't no rabbit. Is Tony Khan Cody's right hand man? No, Cody's Tony's right hand man. It's all Tony's money, bro. Bro, Cody Rhodes not going to finance a wrestling company on his own. He's got money, but not that kind of money. Been watching WWE for since 2004. 2004 is a good time to be alive still. Pablo Euro though. Undertaker vs. Shawn Michaels, dope story. Because I mentioned it today, I forgot. Great Balls of Fire and Stomping Ground. Yeah, man. Terrible. Totally agree, mate. It was always easier to remember the days where we were invested in the characters we were watching. That's the biggest difference now. It's true, Anna. And I tried to think, I do always try and, because I don't want to sound like the guy who's always like back in the day. And I was wondering, is it because I was a child with certain things or I was a little bit younger that maybe that's the reason why I don't connect? But it's not that. There's certain things that I know that I don't connect with because I'm a little bit older, and I'm fine with that. But it's like, for example, I loved Bailey the whole time, but I know that her character, what she's about, doesn't resonate with me. I'm not a little girl, but the kids will like it. Not even little girls, because my son likes it as well. But at least I could still see, whereas, this new stuff is a bit mad. Rhea was amazing with Nikki. Maybe they could. Katarina, I'm going to disagree. I hate the Rhea and Nikki thing. Like, they're trying to rip it. Rhea was trying to rip her head off a couple of weeks ago for a championship, and now she's putting up pictures on her Instagram of people drawing and hugging and stuff. Like, just allow me with it. Yeah, Joseph, it's all good, man, but it's football, bro. Yeah, I mean, football. Our football was out before any NFL and stuff like that. So, yeah. So Pete Dunne, yeah, man. I like that promo on NXT. I'm excited to see what happens next. I don't think Logan Paul will help anything. No, he doesn't. I get it though. The hope was bring Logan Paul on the show and his fans will come over and watch WWE. But people are forgetting that Logan Paul's been on YouTube so long that his fans are growing up with him, and Jake's the one with the younger fans than Logan. And Logan's fans ain't coming to watch wrestling. If they find out Logan's on, you got to remember there's YouTube now. So why would I watch Logan on wrestling? I can just watch his YouTube channel. that's the kind of thing they're going through now. So Logan is not. Trust me, Logan's fan base ain't coming over to watch WWE. I already told you guys I do not give a damn about the ratings, but if the reason why WWE's ratings haven't gone up, if they haven't improved, then clearly Logan's fans, because he's got 22 million YouTube followers, so there's no spike. And Joe versus Pete would be my first pick pump that directly into my veins. I'm here for it. Looking at the promo, I don't think they're gonna, but I would like that. Who is Joe's Challenger Savage? Exactly what Anna just said. I would go for Pete, but I think it's gonna be another one of them fatal four ways coming up. LA Knight's money. He's just money. He just reminds me of the old school wrestler. Then after Joe, Pete, like Kyle. The production team messed up with Logan and Biggie at the end, switching back and forth while the fans were busy booing Logan. Yeah, it did. The heel, bro, the boo that Logan was getting is weird, yeah, because I've seen him come out, when he came out on SmackDown, he wasn't getting booed like that, but, and his, I don't know. I mean, like, Jake's the one everyone hates. I know Logan done the Suicide Forest thing before, but everyone's a little bit too sensitive. And that was about 5 years ago. It literally was about 5 years ago, the Forest thing. So WWE nuts because they're trying to present Logan as a face, but it was never going to work. I don't know, bro, because it's not a new thing, Logan being there. You got to remember he was there before with the Sami Zayn thing, and when he done the Sami Zayn thing, I'm pretty sure I done a reaction on it, and I don't remember him being booed like he was then. But it was awkward when he was trying to talk about the Mayweather stuff and everyone's booing him. Sometimes they have to change stuff on the fly, and they probably should have, I don't know, somebody should have whispered to him and said, just tell him to shut the hell up and go that way, because let's be honest, it really doesn't matter. Pete Dunne has just been there lately in his team, in my opinion. I'm a massive Pete Dunne fan, but you are right, man. You're just there with no real purpose, in my opinion. His last purpose was when it was the war against the Undisputed Era, when Pat McAfee was almost their manager kind of thing. Supposedly Damien Priest has not lost since his main event roster debut. Yeah, but he had loads of time off. because Pete Dunne deserves it because he can't. I mean, you don't deserve a title shot because your contract's expiring. That's not that. I don't think that means anything. But I know stuff about Pete's going to be fine in WWE. Trust me, I know him is fine. So, but yeah, I don't think someone's contract expiring, you should just get. You know what I mean? Still, Logan is an idiot to me, so I love it when people booed him out of the building. Yeah, I mean, everyone's opinion. Personally, I don't mind Logan at all. He doesn't bother me one bit. I watch his podcast sometimes when he's got interest guests on. He's nothing like he was 5 years ago when he was like that weirdly stupid, arrogant thing. But Jake, I actually find Jake funny, but because his trolling doesn't bother me. It makes me laugh that people fall for it because he's been doing it his whole career. But them guys are geniuses, whether you like them or not. The Paul brothers, the genius. So what's happening with Adam Cole? Did you see the Dead Titan trying to generate music you had for TakeOver? I did. And what's happening with Adam Cole is no one knows, but his contract's not fully expired. Well, yeah, it is, but I think they said he can have one more match or something like that. And then after that, then we'll have to see what happens. But all I know is after the SummerSlam match, all these AEW people were posting Adam Cole pictures. I seen a picture on the Young Bucks Twitter of Adam Cole. I seen a picture on Kenny Omega's Twitter, I think, or Instagram. And obviously Britt Baker, but she don't normally post pictures like that. And it was almost like a troll. Who knows? I'm not saying just because his contract is signed, but I have a liking for the past. Oh, okay. It's because you said. Hey, Pablo, get down. It's because you said because his contract, but if you just like it, that's fair enough. Morrison versus The Miz next week, Savage. I really don't give a damn. I was a big fan of Morrison before. I'm a big fan of what Morrison can do, but on the mic and stuff, I don't care for Morrison at all. And I'm a massive fan of The Miz. But after they made the zombies eat him, it's all been like water guns and moist TV and drip drip, and I'm not here for it. And the bunny dances and that. And that I don't know if anyone's seen the promo that Morrison cut when he went backstage, and he just started speaking to the camera, but there was no one there. It was very weird. Like there wasn't no Kayla Braxton asking him questions. It was just like, Miz, next week, I want you. I'm like, brother, you went from drip drip and moist TV. It was all weird. I don't know. Like, tell me if I'm crazy, or was it me being overly creative? Miz just jumped you in the ring, but he didn't really hurt you because there was no like metal bars or steel chairs and that. He just punched you up a little bit. And then you've got the energy, and he was fine. When he came backstage, he wasn't holding his head or anything. He's cut a promo to the camera, but Miz is still in the building. So why did you not go and chase him? Might resign tomorrow and appear on SmackDown for all we know. Facts. Like they're crazy. Pete's not going anywhere. That segment backstage was strange, bro. I don't know, man. I miss Austin Aries. That man is a savage, bro. But I lost a bit of, when he done that no-sell thing for Morrison. That was horrible. He literally just got up after the finishing move. He got pinned and walked out the ring. Can't wait for SmackDown tomorrow night, AEW Rampage. Yeah, I'm excited for both. I'm more excited for SmackDown, but they didn't build a story that Matt Savage is turned into a... Yeah, the reason why it doesn't make sense is because if they made it seem like, okay, Morrison's got a problem with the Miz because he's been faking his injury. So surely, leading with that would have Morrison turn on the Miz. But it's like, I've been faking my injury. You found out. You're mad at me every week about it. And then I turn on you because you're mad. I don't get it. And the last time he got jumped by the Miz for 45 minutes, 1 hour before that. Yeah. When was the last time Brock had a match of pay-per-view? WrestleMania? Brock's last match. Terrible match, by the way. Boring as hell. But I let them off because, pandemic. Well, Brock's last match was against McIntyre at WrestleMania. I think I got that right, didn't I? Yeah. You lost it to McIntyre, and then McIntyre fought Big Show after, and Goldberg fought Braun, which is the match what I never will ever watch again in my life. But honestly, I don't want to be disrespectful to Goldberg, but of the last 5 years, in terms of pay-per-view matches, the few matches I don't ever want to watch again, a lot of them have Goldberg in. I'm never going to watch Goldberg versus Kevin Owens again. I'm never going to watch Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler again, although the spear was badass. Never going to watch Goldberg versus Undertaker again. He murdered him. Never going to watch Goldberg versus The Fiend again. That one still winds me up to today. I'm never going to watch Braun versus Goldberg. Ever. Again. Shout out Jericho back in the day. Savage, are you a fan of Resident Evil series, and have you played Resident Evil Village, the latest one? Great game and a great story. Oh, I love it, Rocky. Big fan of Resident Evil from way back, talking about primary school days, like that. Yeah, I think so. I like Spider-Man No Way Home. Oh, mate, I don't know if you seen my reaction, but I was so hype. Who's the Fiend? Yeah, exactly. I mean, technically, can we even call him Bray Wyatt anymore? I mean, if he's not part of the company, that name doesn't exist. So, kind of funny, isn't it? Because did Bo Dallas? Bo Dallas got released. Oh my God, The Fiend got released. Well, Bray Wyatt got released. How long ago now? 2 months. And in April, Bo got released, and in 2020 April, their dad got released. I know everyone's gonna be like, their dad, IRS. He was working backstage in it. Rotunda, he got released. So, whole Wyatt family's been released, bro. Just allow the whole thing proceed to madness. Outside of a pay-per-view, has he had a match on? Oh, Brock Lesnar doesn't do matches on Raw and SmackDown. The last match he had on SmackDown was against Kofi Kingston, when we know what happened. Hold on, no, that wasn't on SmackDown. Was it on SmackDown? It wasn't on SmackDown, was it? For some reason, I feel like it was on Fox. I don't know. They're gonna have Bo with Bray so much. Oh mate, I said it so many times. Is Bailey injured? Yeah, Bailey's out for 9 months, I think, or longer. On Twitter, they say he isn't no longer the Fiend, and they called him. No, he can no longer be the Fiend anyway. He can't be the Fiend. He can't be Bray Wyatt because WWE owned that intellectual property. Very smart business move, you know. Very smart. I know we don't care about business, but I care about business in my personal life. To do that to people, I don't know if people know that they tried to do that to Chelsea Green and she won the court case because she was like, you know, Morris Watts Wyndham. That's Ray's name. That's his name. It's his real name, Wyndham Rotunda, and then his dad's Mike Rotunda, which is IRS from back in the day. You know the one who's come up with $1 Million Man in the briefcase and that. Money, 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 money. Let's not talk about Virgil. Anyway, it was on SmackDown 2020 in January. 2019, it was the day. Oh, I was right then. That's what I said. He beat Kofi Kingston in how long? 8 seconds. Money, 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 money. That was the end of Kofi Mania, bro. One of those odd names like William Defoe. Yeah. Why did they not just call it the guy William? Because it's his name, bro. Katrina, I miss Bailey. Me too. Bailey's dope. Very ashamed. It's a shame that she got injured because she would have been in the storyline with Bianca Belair right now. But that's how the cookie crumbles. Bailey's gonna have a massive pop when she returns. Heel Bailey's dope. Love it. I like the way she argues with Michael Cole. She can hear what he's saying when he's on commentary. And I love Bailey. To be fair, the time goes pretty fast. You know what I'm saying? So, won't be long. I meant his parents. No, I know you meant his parents, but I'm saying, like, because that's like, it's because that was the name they gave him. I don't know. Probably one of the names what are like popular somewhere and I don't know about it. But I don't know. It was 8 seconds. Yeah, it was. So that was one of the badass character back in the day. Yeah, Anna, he was dope. Anna, fun fact. Obviously, we're English. You know that I didn't know. Obviously, I knew the name, and that was to me that was like IRS. It's the initials of his name. I didn't know. I didn't clock on to what IRS was till about 2004 or something when I was 14, and then I was like, "Oh, we come out with this. The tax man is IRS." Yeah, smart WWE. That's smart. But IRS was a G, absolute G. Him and Ted DiBiase in tag matches. Let's not talk about Virgil. Anyway, Bailey hates fans. Yes, she does. I love it. If we be honest, old Bailey would beat the hell out of Bianca. No. Bianca can do stuff that is very, very impressive in the ring. And hopefully turn the Street Profits heel and turn Bianca heel with it. I don't know, I've had enough. You know what I mean? Let them go on a tear up and kill people. I'm making it up, but you know. What would you do, Seth Rollins? Tap out. Edge feels like Seth Rollins, no momentum. Last big pay-per-view, turn his character. I wouldn't turn his character. I don't think he's lost momentum because Edge could not have lost that match to me. We brought Edge back. He won one pay-per-view against Randy, the greatest match ever. No, he lost that one and won the other one. So that was 1-1. He lost to Roman and Daniel. Well, he lost to Roman in a triple threat match. Then he would have lost another one. That would have been one Royal Rumble win, one other pay-per-view win, and 3 losses in a row. Nah, not Edge. Montez Ford is talent. He's a mid-carder. I don't understand why the two go together, but he's super talented, bro. I was watching. I don't know if you guys knew this. I didn't know this was on the network. You know the combine. They've got it on the network. Me and my son was watching 2019's combine yesterday. Honestly, on the men's side and the women's side, Bianca and Montez smashed all the records. Apart from she drew with Gonzalez on like a deadlift. But everything else, Bianca smashed everyone on it. And everything else, Montez smashed everyone on it apart from the bench press. That family right there, that couple, that man and wife, I don't understand how they got together, how they chose each other and was the most like athletic, but their kid's gonna be mad athletic. Forgive me. I'm a Bailey fan. Ding dong. Bailey's dope. I told you Roman Reigns is gonna beat the shit out of Cena. You didn't tell me Roman Reigns is gonna beat the shit out of Cena. I am the pro Roman Reigns fan. Come on, man. Montez Ford should be a future WWE champion. Oh, I can't wait to see how they split up the Street Profits. There's some things I don't want to think about for future because the thought of it, the thought of some people splitting up makes me think that like, okay, they're gonna split up. One's gonna get released. That's what happens in my head all the time. God forbid it will be the direction how the money, yeah, millions of dollars, yeah. Let's not go for that. Hoorah, hoorah, hoorah! Bring back Titus Worldwide. Listen, Titus Worldwide might have been a shambles to people, but when you look at Raw now, Titus Worldwide would work because he was doing the manager's role. He had Dana Brooke as the secretary. She looked good, by the way, but he had the secretary, and that worked out fine. You know what I'm saying? And then they had Tozawa, and he was the cruiserweight champion. You like, yeah, it was all right, man. Worldwide. Tried to sign Apollo and that. Yeah, I was here for it. Savage, what are the things that WWE can learn from AEW and the opposite? Everything WWE can learn from AEW learned from WWE's past. 100% facts. There's nothing I see on AEW now what's different to what I've not seen in WWE. It's just that WWE don't do it anymore. And they're not going to do it anymore either. So, one thing that I said a few years ago now, and AEW, they use it now, but it was my idea, so it's coming to chat. You know the ranking system with the amount of matches people have lost and won? Bring that to WWE. The reason being I say this, actually they had the power rankings in WWE and they stopped it. But the reason why I say this is because then there's certain people that will get a title shot due to having a winning streak instead of never getting a title shot. Because sometimes all you need is a title shot. It doesn't mean you're going to win the title, but you might perform really great in this one title match and be put over with the fans. Kind of like, I mean, it's not the same now, but when Cedric Alexander, when he was in the Cruiserweight Classic, he lost to Kota Ibushi in the final, didn't he? But he was great. Like, he was great. The fans went crazy. Triple H came out and offered him a contract anyway. And it was very real because that's what the fans wanted. But honestly, Brock, you can't lie. Like, literally, everything AEW do great, they learned from WWE's past. They took the good parts, and the parts what ain't that great, they've got rid of them. But the problem is because WWE's built to... AEW don't care about kids one bit. Not one bit, and I don't blame them. Because it's fighting. Think about what the sport is. Forget about the kayfabe and stuff like that. What is the sport? They are fighting. So why would you care about kids so much? If the kids watch it, they watch it and they watch it with their parents. I mean, kids can't spend the money themselves anyway. People, they underestimate the fact that not only do kids get their parents into stuff, parents get their kids into stuff. And more often than not, that's the way it goes. My son watches wrestling because I watch wrestling. I watch wrestling because my dad watches wrestling. My dad watches wrestling because I watch wrestling because of my granddad, but my dad watches it because of that, and over again. What worries me is if Vince follows his trend, it will be the 90s storyline that will start to be redone soon because Vince doesn't realize fans' memories all the network. The fact I know I get that it worries you, but I'm just gonna let you know, Anna, from one friend to another, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. The Karrion Kross mask is the Karrion Kross mask, and Nikki's Karrion Kross is character now. Nikki's character and Lily is the answer you need to know that that's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? You remember that? What was that geezer's name? Was it Glazier on WCW? The one that looked like he was Sub-Zero of Mortal Kombat. They copied the whole character. I'm telling you. What the next person will have is we'll have a bank robber next, and then we'll have you know what's gonna happen, Anna. Like, I'm sorry, ladies, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm talking about WWE, but we're gonna have the women soon enough. It's gonna be dress sexy or be released. Um, the Unforgiven I just watched. After we watched 2000, we watched 2002, and I'm not making this up. My son couldn't believe it. We watched. It was the one with the HLA. I'll say that, and then you guys can Google it. But HLA, Eric Bischoff, Stephanie McMahon. That's the segment I turned it on. So Anna Savage did the run with them. Yeah, the body part looked like Demolition. Don't quote me on that. I'm just taking the piss because what am I around with them, bro. The blood in AEW is different. Reminds me of the aggression era. Yeah, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. AEW they repeat a lot of matches as well. AEW need to be careful of letting the great talent they had, the ones who started AEW, go to the back of the pack. Because I'm gonna leave in a minute, but if you lot are all right with me showing you this, well, I'm gonna read it off to you because I was looking just before I got in here, and I'm gonna read all the people that have moved over to AEW from WWE, and think of AEW already had a roster, and then whoever you guys who are listening, you can count it for me, and I'll just read. I'll just read the names off. Why do you think Becky Lynch, face of the company, Roman Reigns is not get rid of the man gimmick is cringe. Yeah, the man gimmick. Turn her heel, man. They put her on the same roster as her husband and his heel, and they're both at the top of the card pretty much. So what's going to happen? They're going to not talk to each other on the show. But yeah, guys, give me a second. You guys count. This won't take long. Don't write any other comments. Somebody just count the amount of names I'll give you here. And this is what I mean about AEW, their talent. Okay, here we go. So we'll start from 2020 first. Remember all these people. Some of them have just been in AEW and some are AEW talent. But okay, so and I'll read the ones who have been released as well from WWE who are good. So I'll forget Zelina Vega because she's back now. Authors of Pain have been released. Not AEW. You don't have to count that one. Rusev, that's one. Matt Cardona's been to AEW once as well. That's two. Eric Rowan's appeared in AEW. That's three. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Well, that's two of them together. That's five. EC3 hasn't. Leo Rush has been to AEW. That's six. No, it has just let me go. Okay, that's from 2020. All those people. Why did they release Kathy Kelly? She was great at her job. I have no idea, but okay, that's 2020, and then we'll go through this year as well. Okay, these people haven't gone to AEW yet, but there's the people that can go. Okay, Ric Flair's going to go to AEW, but we have to leave that. Well, Murphy, that's one. That's the seventh one. He's going to AEW. Aleister Black, that's 8. Yeah, Ruby Riot's on the way there. That's 9. It's a bit of a shambles. That's 9 people who's gone in the last 2 years, and then on top of that, this is a shambles. Okay, Kathy Legend wants to leave. Oh, did she leave on her own accord? Fair enough. Okay, that's 9. That's 9 people, and then think of the people on the roster. Puck is in AEW as well. That's 10. You just think of the people who are already there. It's crazy. Bring back Caruso. God damn it. Andrade. That's 11. So I'm saying with this, bro, this is like, even if we've done 5 a year, you're going to see what the problem is. Now, take into account all the people I just said, and now I'm going to read off the whole list. I'm going to read off the whole list of everyone who's been released. I'm going to read all the ones that would appear on a main roster or NXT main roster, Raw or SmackDown. I'm not going to attempt to put the people in who kind of had one match or something like that because that's not fair. That's a bit silly. And listen to how much talent WWE have got rid of. And then you can let me know if some of them you think, yeah, they probably should have went. Okay. Authors of Pain, that's 1. Rusev 2, Zack Ryder 3, Primo Rempico, nah, don't worry about that. Rowan 4, Sarah Logan's gone 5, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows 7, EC3 8, Leo Rush 9, Kurt Hawkins 10, Heath Slater 11, Eric Young 12, Curtis Axel 13, No Way Jose 14, Cassius Ono 15, Aiden English 16, the ref Mike Yoda 17. Okay, that's just off 1 year. Bronson Reed 18, Bobby Fish 19, Leo Ruff 20, Mercedes Martinez 21, Bray Wyatt 22, Killian Dane 23, Fandango 24, Tyler Breeze 25, Tony Nese 26, Braun Strowman 27, Aleister Black 28, Ruby Riott 29, Lana 30, Murphy 40, Andrade 41, Daniel Bryan 42. I read out 4. Now, don't get me wrong, you might pick out that 42, maybe 6 of them, like No Way Jose and stuff like that. Didn't seem like it's going to work. 42, bro. The list wasn't 42. The list was about 100, but there's loads of ones who have like just appeared on NXT, like Kona Reeves and Jay Catless and stuff like that. But 42, absolutely crackers. Authors of Pain should have been recruited with Roman instead of Seth, but that's neither here or there. They were already wearing combats like Roman anyway. I agreed. Fandango and Tyler Breeze was didn't you know that they were released? They were released in the last release. Oh yeah. How much did I said 42. Kalisto got released as well, so 43. Oh yeah. Iconics 45. So that over the people who have been released can make its own roster. Fandango was over with the crowd. Tyler Breeze was over with the crowd on his own as well. You did not count CM Punk. CM Punk wasn't released in the last 2 years. He released 7 years ago on his wedding day. I mean, I can't go over the people who've been released the whole life. Then we'll have to go through like mad different people, but that's it. SmackDown barely has a roster, same as Raw. Yep. But there you have it, man. 45 people. That's nearly 50, bro. If you split them both up, you can make a roster. Don't get me wrong, it wouldn't be the greatest roster with just those, but some G's in there. Matt Hardy, yes, 46. Tucker, 47. Damn. See what I'm saying? The list had people lift off it, bro. I didn't even think of Tucker. Just think that without the Cody, Tax, Paul, Wyatt, Sting on the legend side, it's crazy how much I've swallowed their own talent. Crazy. But yeah, Tucker has lost weight. But yeah, there you have it, man. No, I didn't mention Chelsea Green, 47. I didn't like the fact that released Chelsea Green. She had so much potential, man. I think she's dope, I do. I'm sure there's more on top of that as well. But there you have it. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Bianca to Raw right now, forget it. But listen, while Lily's hanging around, everyone's gonna have a problem. Is Chelsea Green and Britt Baker two different people? Yeah, they're 100% two different. One's married to Adam Cole and one's married to Zack Ryder. One's the AEW champion and one's the Ring of Honor champion now, I think. Bruh, you're funny. But guys, I'm going to get off, man. I plan to do an hour. We've done 2. My puppy needs attention, like that. Yeah, I didn't put Tanea Conti in there because she wasn't prominent on the roster, but I think she's dope, but she wasn't prominent on the roster at all. Obviously, there's people like Kyrie saying, well, she chose to leave and go back to Mickey James, 48. I just had an email. My CM Punk t-shirt have reached Spain. They will update me when they hits the UK. I know. Did you get the proper CM Punk t-shirt? Because I know that Pro Wrestling tees, because they ran out, they made a different one without the black rim around the neck. They just made the same pattern, but it didn't have the rim around the arm or the neck. So let me know. But guys, I'm about to jump off. Pablo, you wanna come say bye? Come on, come on. Good boy. Oh, you're a lump, man. Come say bye to the people, man. I don't know why they released Mike Kyoto. He was the best referee they had, but yeah, guys, it's been fun. Go feed the boy and we'll go have a play on that, man, to get some attention. But oh no, AEW Global, fair enough, Anna. I'll be back with SmackDown next. SmackDown, Rampage, and okay, you got the Black Piping as well. Perfect. No Black Piping, fair enough. And then yeah, and I'm going to start doing YouTube membership, but you'll hear about that a little bit more soon. Shout out to John G. And you know what I mean, I'll add some benefits in there, so some members only streams, some members only videos, but we'll talk about that very soon. I'll make a separate video. But yeah, guys, it's been dope, man. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for sticking around for so long, man. You know, like that. But you already know the vibes, man. I've been your boy the Savage. Comment, like, subscribe, share. And this has been Pablo the Savage. Pablo, say bye. You know, like that. Yeah, stream next Thursday, of course. But yeah, man, we're about to go over here. Say bye, Pablo. There he is. Pablo, look. Tell him. Run.